Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. On today's video we will be going through mixing kick drum. Under community on the channel, I asked what video would you like to see next on the channel, and majority voted for mixing kick drum. This is it guys. So I'll play you this song to see how it sounds alongside other elements, because what matters is how they sound together, not how it sounds in isolation. And just a quick one, if you would like to vote for next video that you want to see on the channel, keep an eye out on that, the community. I'll be putting the question out again. So let's get into it. Let's listen to this song, then I'll solo the kick and I'll show you what I did to it. Let's go.
The pain reflected in this song ain't even half of what I'm feeling inside. Need you back in my life, baby. When you left, I lost a part of me. It's still so hard to believe. Come back, baby, please. Together, what's am I gonna lean on?
So as you can hear how the kicks sound alongside other elements, now go ahead and solo the kick so we can actually hear how it sounds in isolation. Let me also go ahead and take off the effects we've got on them, and then we can hear how the original kick sound. So as you can hear, the original kick still sound good. First thing is an EQ. I basically added much of the over 2K just to bring this kick out so that when you listen to it on a Bluetooth speaker or mobile phones, will still cut through. I've rolled off a bit of the highs, and I've also dipped about 158 Hz so that the bass can live around there. And I've also added a bit more body to the kick at 51 Hz. Let's listen to just that EQ. So as you can hear already, the kick is coming to life. So the next thing I go here is now Transient Designer, which is smack attack. Basically, this is to help the transient cut out through more. So I've got the attack at 20, I've pushed it up, and I've also knocked the sustain slightly low so that it doesn't tail a bit longer. Let's listen to what that did. I've also brought down the volume by -1.5 just to compensate for added volume. Definitely, you notice this has lifted the kick a bit more out of the speakers. So the next thing I got on here is a compressor. This one is a gentle compressor. I'm not trying to actually compress this kick. What I'm trying to do is more or less color it, because 1176 is well known for kick drums. That's why, if you notice, I've had it on a fastest release and slowest attack. Let's see what that's doing. So this is more or less for a bit of tone shaping. It's not really trying to clamp down on the kick. Now the first send I got here is actually for sidechain. If you notice, the output is not going anywhere. There's no output, but I've still bushed it on there and I've named it kick sidechain. This is because this bass here, there's two bass on this particular record. So I left one to be floating, but the main one, I've sidechained it so that when it's on and if this kick drops, the bass gets docked. If you notice, that's the same boss one that's sidechained to that. So, but because we're not dealing with bass, so we won't worry about that one really for now. The next one is where the whole thing happened. This is the main magic. This is parallel drum compression. So I've bushed the kick to the second aux, and I've thrown in the same compressor. This is now where I'm actually compressing this kick more, but on a parallel bus. I'm squashing it. Let me just play you guys that in isolation, just the kick drum that I've sent. As you can listen to that, you notice that it's been properly crushed. Literally is squeezing out every dynamic that the thing has got. Let me pull it back to the level it was. I had it about minus 19. So after this, the next thing that I've added is a Portec EQ. Now on this EQ, I've literally boosted 60 Hz by 10 dB. If you notice, that's all the way up, which is 10 dB. And I've attenuated the same 60 Hz by 2 dB. So this is obviously magic about Portec, whereby you can actually boost and attenuate the same frequency. What this is now acting is, let's assume on a normal parametric EQ that you've lifted 60 Hz. Because when you pull in 60 Hz up, it's also pulling maybe 100 and 200 up slightly. So this is helping push that bit down. So it's only concentrating on that lower end. Then the next one on the upper, I've boosted 3K by 4 dB. And I've also attenuated the same frequency, which is 5K here. I've attenuated 5K by 10 dB. So I'm literally leaving more of the lower end, not boosting the high end, if that makes sense. And I've also opened up the bandwidth so that this boost is a bit more broad. Let's listen to just that in as well. This is without the EQ. So as you can see, it's obviously going over. That's why I've added a limiter, L2, just to stop it from clipping. Let's listen to that all in. So now that I've done this, I've literally fed it into the original kick. So I fed it by 19 minus 19. So it's not all in. You can barely hear it, but it's actually helping push the original kick. So let's listen to it with, and I'll bypass it halfway. Let me raise the volume up a bit more. You notice with this parallel compression and the EQ that I've added is actually helping this kick become big and basically cut through more. So the next thing I've got on the channel is a little bit of a reverb, just to, you know, put the whole kick in space. This is very tiny. If you notice, even on the reverb itself, I'm only using 20%, even though it's on a boss. Let's hear that in. Let me just raise that up so you can hear what it sounds like. So as you can see, I've got it at minus 29, even though it's not as loud as, but it's still helping add a bit more space to the whole drum. Because the thing is, if you start increasing the reverb, is actually gonna pull your kick back into the mix. You don't want that. So that's why the smallest you can do. Something at minus 30 or minus 29 is just about fine. So you could barely hear it, but it's there helping to give more weight to your kick drum. So the last thing I got here is a bit crusher, because of what we did on the EQ, whereby we're boosting over 2K for that to cut through small speakers. So I've got this bit crusher, which is the one built into Logic, but any bit crusher will do. Let me solo that so you can hear what it sounds like. So this is actually helping the kick also cut through. Let me pull it down to where I had it. I'll play the whole kick and I'll remove it. Then you notice now that your ear has got accustomed to it. So you notice that little force that is adding is actually helping this kick cut through on this dance mix. Let's have a listen to it again with everything.
Free. You think your kindness is so weak. No, you don't give it up so easy, babe. But you wanted my attention. Yeah, you wanted my affection. You got me tattooed on your mind. You just want me all that time. Well, this place is never what it seems. Take me out there.
So as you can see, once we bypassed all the effect, the kick was almost like lost in this mix. But immediately we added everything back in, the kick was breathing and grooving again. So there you go. If you have any further question about mixing kick, or if you have any question about mixing and mastering in general, leave me a comment down below. Keep an eye out on that community for when I post what video would you like to see next on the channel, so we can all decide together what video everybody wants to watch, rather than me just making some random video that will not interest you. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you guys on the next one. Bye now.